I met Nancy about a year and a half ago when I went to a speaking event down in San Diego, and a mutual friend introduced us. And I really enjoyed talking with her, but I didn't really get to know her that well. So on my recent vacation, I went over and spent an afternoon with her in La Jolla, and she gave me a tour of La Jolla. We walked all over and talked for quite a few hours. And I think Nancy brought up something about walking the talk, and I already had that as a topic that I wanted to do for a vlog. So I thought, she's the perfect person to do this with. So what does walk the talk mean to you, Nancy?
I loved having you there, and it was so inspirational when we were talking and we were walking around, because what I felt was that you were walking the talk. So what that means is that everything that you were saying, the way that you behave in the world, your actions, the way you think, it's all in congruence. It's not like, some people say, oh yeah, I'm super spiritual, but they might hurt somebody else on purpose. Or they say, yeah, I love being of service, but they cut in front of somebody else with anger. So they're not necessarily matching their thoughts, their heart, their actions in that. So it's not easy, though, to walk the talk, because we can put a persona on Instagram, Facebook, all of that, social media. We can put a persona and present ourselves. This is who I am. But at home, I mistreat my family members. At home, I'm not as motivated. I don't do the things that I tell people to do. So to me, walking the talk is, if you're saying something, you do it too.
Yes, I think that's really important in what we do, and you do have to think about it. It's easy to be representing the person you'd like to be rather than the person that you actually are acting as in the world. And I've actually had clients come to me who that was really what was going on with them. They were out of alignment with themselves. And a particular client came and she wanted to connect with her spiritual self. And she said, no matter what she did, she didn't really feel like she was connecting. And so the more we talked, she was operating in the world in a way that wasn't really in congruence or alignment with her values. And, what she either had been in the past or wanted to be. She was actually, having an affair and, doing some other things that
were incongruent.
Yeah, incongruent with how she'd been raised and who she wanted to be. So
it's interesting that you say that, because I've had clients that tell me, God, when I'm with this guy or when I'm with this girl, I become this totally different person. And I don't know how not to be like that. And what I tell them very often is, number one, you really like the way you feel about it, but what's truly happening is that you're not liking the person that you're becoming when you are with that person, because it's not, like you say, in congruence and in integrity. It's not matching your values. It's not matching who you truly want to be. So that, yeah, definitely.
And I think like I went through a period of time in my life that was really not a good period, and it lasted quite a long time. And when I started, like pulling myself out of it, it actually took me going back to really who I had been as a child to find that person that I was and that I wanted to be, because you know, I liked that child, you know, that she operated in the world very authentically. And the person that I had become didn't. And it was actually like I was kind of lost. I didn't know who that person that, you know, that I wanted to be and that I was and that felt right. Mm-hmm. So I kept going back to, you know, how I had been, you know, like as a child, I was very brave. And through a lot of, you know, adversity, I'd become very afraid. And I had to, you know, learn to be brave again, because that's what felt right to me.
Yes. And what's interesting is that when we're children, we are risk takers. We are confident. We are loving. We trust the world. And it is experiences that hurt us that teaches us to be afraid. So what happens is that the ego says, don't worry, I'll protect you. Oh, there's a situation that looks like that. Don't go there. Don't do that. Don't dare. Let me keep you safe. But it also keeps us small. And what you're saying is to go back to the innocence of a child that believes in people, that is fearless. That's the best thing. That is saying to the ego, don't worry, I got it. You don't need to protect me anymore. That's cool. It's fine. I got this. And to make ourselves like, okay, I want to be that brave again, that person again. Being congruent with who you truly, truly are, no? Who the ego wants you to be. Well, you have to have the perfect grades and you have to please everybody and you have to behave this way and everything has to be perfect. Like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Why do we want all of this? All this mask is because honestly, we're afraid of rejection. We're deadly afraid of rejection. And so the ego is protecting us from suffering in the future. So, yeah. So we get incongruent completely out of congruence.
And kind of listening to that voice inside of you that, you know, that's really telling you who you are, who you want to show up as.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, we get programmed by, you know, how we're supposed to act in a certain situation or how everybody else acts in that situation. And you think you need to, you know, I mean, society really tells you that you need to. So you do it, but it doesn't feel right.
That's right. That's right. And you can read through people that are faking it, that are pretending. You can see right through. Everybody can, especially.
Oh, yeah. I remember recently as somebody, we were having a disagreement and there was a lot of, I mean, I could feel the hostility. And then the person says, I'm sending you love and light. and you know, it was like, you have to feel it first before you can send it.
Exactly. So, no, thank you. Not that kind. Yeah.
Well, she was making an attempt to bridge from those feelings of hostility to something else, but she wasn't there yet.
Right.
and
you
I
bring a really
totally feel it.
Yeah, you bring a really important point, which is we don't honor our feelings because they're not okay to feel. And that's not walking the talk. That's actually being codependent. That's saying your feelings are more important than mine, and I should not be feeling these feelings. I'm not necessarily implying that anytime you get upset that you go punch somebody, or that anytime you feel sad, you just like break down in the middle of your business conference meeting and you start crying your eyes out. But what I'm suggesting, or what I'm saying is, it's okay to be upset. It's okay. It's okay for things to not go your way. It's okay for you to be disappointed. It's okay for you to feel sad. Honor those feelings, because they come from something. There's information in those feelings if you really listen to them. And honoring your feelings means that you are walking the talk. You are telling people, I know who I am. I love me. Well, love you and love your darkness too. Love the non-pretty parts of you as well. Love all of that, all of you.
Yes, and even if sometimes we can't, as you said, you can't, have a breakdown in the middle of a business meeting, but you can acknowledge to yourself that this is your feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And, that helps you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are methods and times and places and safe people that you can really break down with. When you feel close to someone that will hold a space for you, that's the time to do it. And maybe journaling, maybe crying in your bed, maybe throwing a pillow, ways that you can do it safely without hurting yourself, without hurting others, and at the same time honoring why you feel that way. Very often I talk about ways of expressing emotions, and some people express it aggressively. Some people might say, what are you doing? Get out of my way. And like very like, like right on your face. That's the aggressive mode. There are some people that are passive and they're like, oh no, it's fine. Everything's good. No, I'm good. I'm really good. And they swallow all of those emotions. Then there's a passive aggressive, the one that is like, no, it's fine. Just wait until you ask me for something. Just wait. No, but I'm fine. No, seriously, everything is good. Oh, really? Now you need my help? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to help you because you didn't help me then. I'm not going to help you now. Those styles of communications are not really honoring how you feel, because you deny them completely. And so instead, the assertive way of communicating is by expressing, first acknowledging, what am I feeling? Why did that make me upset? That made me upset because I felt neglected. I felt sad. I felt...
I'm doing all of the giving and you're just taking.
Yeah, and so that makes me feel used. That makes me feel sad, lonely, jealous. So acknowledging your feelings is the first step. The second step is, okay, what do I need? What do I need from that person? And so you state it. And the third is like, what is that person specifically doing? Not an assumption, not a judgment, but what are the actions? So for example, when you are looking at your phone while we're laying in bed next to me, that's a fact. It's not a judgment. Looking at the phone next to me. The feeling is, I feel lonely. I feel confused. Those are my feelings. I chose to feel that way because I could be on the phone too and not care. But I'm the one choosing to feel that way. So it's my choice. But what would I like? I would like for you to put your phone down and talk to me. Simple as that. Now, what would the aggressive person...
We don't always get what we want by doing that. But if we express it and acknowledge the feelings, it feels a lot better and works a lot better than just, stuffing it, basically. Okay, that person is paying attention to your phone, and so you just, pout, and then later on there, well, what was wrong with you? Nothing.
Exactly. Nothing. No, I'm fine. Whatever. But, if you want a change and you approach it on the aggressive way, like, you're always on your phone, what the heck, I'm just getting out of here, blah, blah. The other person, how is that person going to react? It's going to be like, no, well, you're on your phone too, and da, 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 attack, right? If
Depends.
you're passive, you're not expressing your emotions. The other person doesn't know what bothers you because you're not acknowledging it. And so they don't know how to help you. If you're passive aggressive, the same thing. So, but when you come out and say, hey, when you're on your phone and we're laying in bed together, I feel lonely. I'd like it if you could put your phone down and we could talk. Is that something we can do? The person is going to be like, absolutely. Let me put the phone down, because you said it in a way that you took control and ownership of your emotions. And you're asking me in a way that is non-accusatory, that is giving me an opportunity to give you back. And so honoring your feelings is so, so important. I might be like, why am I feeling lonely when this person has the phone? Why am I feeling that way? And it might have nothing to do with the phone. It might have been with something else, but you're not aware of that. So walking the talk is recognizing, what am I feeling, and owning that, and taking care of that yourself, not waiting for somebody else to do it, but you take care of it yourself.
Yeah, because the way you're feeling is your responsibility.
Yes.
It's not the responsibility of that other person. They may be acting in a way that isn't really considerate to you, but it isn't their responsibility to make you feel the way you want to. You can
That's right.
request, but we are responsible for the way we feel.
That's right. And the person might answer with like, sorry, I'm doing some work and I I can't stop right now. Then you can negotiate. Like, well, this is important for me. Is it like something that you can stop in 10 minutes, or is there something, because I need to take care of my needs, and my needs is company. So right now I'm feeling lonely and I'm asking for company, but you don't have to give me the company. I can actually say, okay, if you're busy, I get it. Thank you for the information. Let me see who I can call. Let me call my friend and see if I can hang out with her or talk to her. Let me call my mom if we have her. Like things like that to fulfill your need, not just put all of that burden on that person, to fulfill your needs.
Or
To make
even
you feel better.
knowing, okay, you're thinking, well, they're, on Facebook and they'd rather be on Facebook than pay attention to me. And
That's the story.
if you ask the question, you might find out that they're answering some important emails, and that's a whole different.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, instead of us looking inside and saying, like, how am I feeling? We start creating this whole story. Like, oh my God, she doesn't care about me, or he doesn't care about me. And look at that. It's all getting distracted and, whatever. I'm here sitting and by myself and fine. We create a whole chaotic mess in our brain that is so hard to get out. And the other person's like, what just happened to you?
Yeah.
Like,
Our brains seem to be really good at that, creating stories.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I had a good lesson actually from a client that I was very proud of him, because he came to me for one of the reasons was that he could not stand up for himself with his brothers. His brothers bullied him, and they'd done that since he was a child. And he could not confront them and stand up for himself. And I was, trying to help him with that, give him some ways of doing it without being really confrontational. And, so we were actually having a non-client conversation after that one day, and I was looking at my phone, and he sat there for a few minutes, and then he said, "I'll wait." And I looked at him, and he just, "I'll wait."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
he used a very good non-confrontational way of letting me know that he was feeling ignored.
Yep.
And
Yes. Yes. So I wanted to share four tips to walk the talk, and things that you can do. Of course, you can do much more than that, but I think that these are four really important ways to walk the talk. The first one is don't compare yourself. It's so easy to go online and to say, oh, she's doing it this way, she looks this way, they're doing this, I should be doing that, they look better, they're going on vacation and I'm not, and this is happening. Like, we keep comparing ourselves so much, and what that's doing, that's taking away the creativity and the taking away the inspiration and taking away from who you truly are. You are a unique individual, and who you are needs to be shown to the world. Just who you are. We don't want another of you. We want you, just unique you. And so when we compare ourselves, it destroys our self-esteem. So that's number one. Don't compare yourself. Number two is start acknowledging your emotions, your feelings. Create awareness of how you feel. Acknowledge if you are upset, if you're hungry, if you're tired, because that can interfere in the way that you communicate with people. If you are angry, maybe you're hungry. If you are intolerant, maybe you've been stressed for a long time. If you are anxious, maybe you haven't resolved certain things. So if you can become aware of your emotions, that can definitely improve the way you live and work, operate in life. So number one is don't compare yourself. Number two, be aware of your own feelings and emotions. Number three is ask for what you want. But that doesn't mean that you're going to demand, but ask for what you need. That doesn't mean either that you'll get it for sure. But if you don't ask, you won't know, right? And so asking for what you want is saying, I don't have all the answers. Who can I ask for support? Who can help me see the blind spots that I'm not seeing? Hiring people like you, Kate, to help them see a perspective, to help them realize things that they aren't getting. So asking for support, asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but it's a sign of saying, I want to get back in my path. I need help. I need support. Or I need you to put your phone down and pay attention to me because I'm feeling lonely, or whatever it is. Asking for that. So number one, again, is don't compare yourself. Number two, become aware of your emotions. Number three, ask for help. And number four, take care of yourself. Nurture yourself. Fulfill your own needs. So if I'm feeling lonely, why would I put that burden on another person in terms of, you need to make me feel better? It's nobody's responsibility to make you feel better.
right.
Nobody's responsibility
So
but yours.
I would
So
add a number 5, and that would
yes.
be, when you're asking for what you need and what you want, don't blame. It's not what you need, has nothing to do with what that other person is doing. So,
Don't take it personally. Yes.
right.
So that's great. So number one, don't compare yourself. Number two, be aware of your own emotions and your feelings. Number three, ask for what you want. Number four, take care of yourself, nurture yourself. And number five, don't take it personally. So those 5 tips are excellent for walking the talk, if I can summarize them. We have way more tips, of course, but I would
Oh
say those are
yes,
really good to start.
it's not something that's always easy to do. Um, as I said, it's important for us to do that in what we do, and you really have to think about it
Yes.
to make sure that you are uh, walking the talk, being
Yes.
the person that you're representing yourself
Yes.
as.
Is being mindful, is being present with you, with your emotions, is awareness, is consciousness. All of those terms, that's what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's great. I hope the viewers, listeners got something out of this, and that I plan to keep working on walking my talk, and I hope that other people will be able to do that too.
Yes, it's progress, not perfection. We'll never get it perfect, but we
Exactly.
can always evolve and progress. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Dr. Nancy.
My pleasure.
I've enjoyed once again talking with you, and
Same.
we'll talk again.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate you and I appreciate